Tim Walz is headlining a voter engagement event tonight with black men. Who better to connect with young black men than Tim Walz?
That's political commentator and tearful clown Bill Maher attempting to make light of the dire straits Democrats are finding themselves in with men and the black community. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish, and you know liberals are in trouble when even Bill Maher is up to speed on the issues they're facing. I mean, let's not forget this was the guy who was 5 years late to the madness of woke ideology and just recently discovered that Joe Scarborough isn't considered an objective source of news after MSNBC wouldn't air him following the first attack on Trump. Regardless, here he is making light of the pathetic situation Harris has made for herself.
Feel the tension, and you're just excited, tense. It could be anything. It's 25 days before the election, and I gotta say, it's not looking that great for the Democrats. I mean, this is not a good sign. You know, when you have an African-American candidate, you probably shouldn't be having to shore up your support among black men, but that's what's going on. Tim Walz is headlining a voter engagement event tonight with black men. Who better to connect with young black men than Tim Walz? Because apparently Michael Bublé was unavailable. Meanwhile, Kim Kardashian's like, hello. But no, Obama even came out yesterday to scold. I mean, he was scolding. Well, I don't know. At the last month at the convention, he was no scolding. Now he's scolding. He was saying, you got to vote for Harris. But of course, for some young, especially the younger black men, it's a tough choice. Harris is African American, but Trump has a sneaker line. So,
you know, not to beat a dead horse here, but Democrats knew Harris had an issue with black voters going back to 2020 because despite what Bill just said, I'm not sure having an Indian mother and Jamaican father whose family owned slaves makes her African American, either culturally or ethnically in the eyes of black voters. Now, to his credit, Maher has taken a few shots at Harris in the past for how bad she seems to be at politics.
He's also obsessed with the idea that Kamala Harris worked at McDonald's. Or rather that she didn't. She says that she did when she was young, like zillions of people do. And he says, no, there's no evidence of it. You cannot prove you worked at McDonald's. First of all, who pads their resume by saying they worked at McDonald's? I think Kamala Harris is playing this one just right. Now, one of her big issues that she's vulnerable on is the border. So she went to the border this week. She went to the border at Arizona. She used to be the border czar. She visited there. So interesting. Along with working at McDonald's, now that's two places she worked that have a convenient drive-through. Also, working to shore up her vulnerabilities. There's been a lot of pressure on her. She doesn't do interviews. She doesn't answer it. So she sat for an interview. She said, okay, I will answer your hardball questions. So she went on MSNBC. Okay, all right. I wasn't, you know, there were not hardball questions, but I still expected not them to be rubbing her feet.
Well, at least he acknowledged that she was border czar. That's certainly more than establishment media can muster, but it's a bit tragic that he still seems to be in the dark about the party he's supporting so fervently. I mean, the notion of someone lying and padding their resume with McDonald's seems ridiculous to him, but it's totally something elitist liberals do all the time. People like that absolutely love to LARP as working class Americans who grew up poor and definitely don't have million-dollar homes at Martha's Vineyard. It's one of the reasons Harris won't shut up about being from a middle-class family, and it's also why Obama says folks all the time. The whole purpose is intended to disarm people and make you seem like a salt-of-the-earth candidate who can relate to them. Yet Trump doesn't do any of that, and working class people still love him for his authenticity, which is exactly why elites hate him. But let me know what you think. Will Harris ever shore up her support with men in the black community, or is she a lost cause? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!